Welcome, fellow thrill seekers, to the realm of shadows and the spine chilling tales. Today, we are diving into the heart pounding world of horror cinema. These aren't just movies, they're pulse quickening experiences, carefully crafted to awaken the fear within. So, grab your favorite blanket, check that your doors are securely locked, and join us as we unveil the top 5 best horror movies to watch in 2023 that will send shivers down your spine and leave you sleeping with one eye open. So get ready for a ride to the macabre, where the only thing scarier than the darkness on the screen is the anticipation of words lurking just beyond it. Black Phone. If you are into spine tingling supernatural thrillers, The Black Phone is one you don't wanna miss. Directed by Scott Derrickson, the mind behind Sinister and Doctor Strange, this movie is a roller coaster of suspense, chills, and eerie occurrences. Ethan Hawke takes the stage as the film's antagonist, the Grabber, as a serial killer with a truly menacing presence. His performance adds an extra layer of intensity to the story. The story revolves around a young boy named Finney Shaw, played by Mason Thames, who becomes trapped in an eerie basement with a disconnected phone. As he unravels the mystery behind the phone, he makes contact with the spirits of the serial killer's victims, leading to a supernatural confirmation. However, what sets this film apart is its willingness to explore deeper themes. It delves into the psychological trauma experienced by the victims of violence and forces us to ponder questions about the afterlife and the nature of evil. In a nutshell, The Black Moon isn't just your run-of-mill horror movie. It's a well-crafted thriller with an outstanding performance by Ethan Hawke and a story that will keep you awake at night, contemplating its eerie and thought-provoking themes. So if you are up for a hair-raising experience, this one is a must-watch for you. Just make sure to keep a nightlight on afterward. Alright, let's talk about The Conjuring. This movie is a roller coaster of chills and thrills, and it's become a classic in the horror genre. Directed by James Wan and based on the real life adventures of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The story follows the parent family, who moves into the beautiful old farmhouse, only to realize that they have got some seriously unwelcome roommates, spirits from the great beyond. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson give fantastic performances as the Warrens, who come to the rescue. Their characters are the heart and soul of the film, and they make you believe in the supernatural. Now, what makes The Conjuring so special is the way it scares you. It's not about cheap tricks and blood. Instead, it builds tension slowly, creeping you out with every scene. The atmosphere is thick with dread, and it's enough to give goosebumps. But what sets it apart is that it's not just a horror flick. It dives into the emotional and psychological toll of the Warrens, making you care about the characters, not just the scares. And it's got some deeper themes too, like faith, good versus evil, and the battle against the supernatural. In short, The Conjuring is a top-notch horror movie. If you are into spine-tingling scares, the characters you care about, and a chilling atmosphere, you can't miss it. Hereditary. Hereditary isn't a typical horror film. It's a deeply unsettling and emotionally charged journey into a family's descent into madness. Directed by Ari Aster, this film leaves a lasting impression that's both haunting and thought-provoking. At its core, Hereditary is a story about a family grappling with grief. Toni Collette delivers a mesmerizing performance as Annie, a mother dealing with the afterlife of her mother's death and the strange, dark family secrets that unravel in its wake. Her portrayal is so raw and powerful that it's hard not to feel her anguish. The film takes its time to build an atmosphere of dread, and it's the slow burn that makes Hereditary stand out. You are drawn into the lives of the characters, and you are watched helplessly as their world unravels in the the most disturbing ways. But what really sets Hereditary apart is its ability to tap into universal fears, particularly the fear of inheriting our family's traumas. It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares, instead, it messes with your mind. The visuals are chilling, and the sound design is a masterclass in principle. The film's climax is a crescendo of horror that will leave you breathless. It's the kind of climax that you will either love or find deeply disturbing. And that's the beauty of Hereditary. It's open to interpretation. In a nutshell, Hereditary is a slow burning psychological horror that's as much about the demons within the family as it is about supernatural forces. If you are a fan of horror films that dig deep into your psyche and leave you questioning what you have just witnessed, Hereditary is the one you should watch. Lights Out. It is one of those horror movies that plays on your most primal fears, the dark. Directed by David F. Sandberg and based on his own short film, it's a roller coaster ride of tension, jump scares, and a good dose of fear-raising moments. The story follows a family plagued by a sinister presence that can only be seen in the dark. When the lights go out, the terror comes to life. Teresa Palmer and Gabriel Bachman, who play the celebrities, deliver convincing performances that make you genuinely care about their characters. The film doesn't waste time. It dives right into the eerie atmosphere and keeps the suspense going throughout. The concept of something lurking in the shadows is universally terrifying, and Lights Out capitalizes on the fear expertly. What's also impressive is how the film explores themes of mental illness and family trauma, adding depth to the typical horror plot. In a nutshell, Lights Out is a must-watch for horror enthusiasts. It's an intense, tightly packed experience that will have you reaching for the light switch. And while it plays on our fear of the dark, it also shines a light on the real-life horrors of mental illness. If you are up for a heart-pounding and thought-provoking scare, give it a go. Alright, let's talk about Get Out movie. This isn't your typical horror movie. It's a mind-blending, genre-defining experience that had me hooked from the start to finish. Directed by Jordan Peele, it's a fresh take on social horror that will make you question more than just what's happening on the screen. The story follows Chris Washington, played by Daniel Kaluuya, who visited his girlfriend's family for a seemingly innocent weekend. But as things unfold, you realize there's more to this family. What struck me most about Get Out is its ability to blend horror with sharp social commentary. Pele waves the themes of racism and cultural appropriation in a way that's both thought-provoking and spine-chilling. It's not just about the scares, it's about the unsettling realization that the real horror might be closer to home than we think. The performances are stellar. Kaluuya brings a perfect mix of vulnerability and strength to his character, and the supporting cast, especially Catherine Keener and Bradley Whitford, adds layers to the unraveling atmosphere. In a nutshell, Get Out is a game changer in the horror genre. It's smart, it's scary, and it's conversation starter. If you are looking for a horror movie that with depth that will leave you thinking long after the credit roll, this it is. Just be ready for a few sleepless nights and some serious contemplation about the state of the world.